So we can just begin by letting ourselves come into the moment. As we gently breathe, just come into this moment more and more. We can think of this moment as a portal to our experience. Even to think, can I let myself just be with what I feel? Can I allow what I feel to be here? I want to say yes to whatever it is I'm feeling. Because I want to be at peace. And I know that allowing my feelings is the path to peace. I am here right now, and I hold no wall against something inside of me. I release any judgment that tells me that it is bad or disallowed. I open myself to be completely present, completely with it, whatever is in me. And I know that Spirit is with me as I allow my feeling. I want to know that there is nothing to fear, and allowing myself to be with what I feel. I want to go from knowing this intellectually to a full experience of it, to a full practice of it. And I'm grateful that Jesus has no judgment over what I experience. That I can come to see that I'm never judged for what I feel. Not really. Not at all. I can come to see I don't have to censor myself or hide some parts of me. Maybe I was taught that I needed to when I was young, but I'm capable of learning something better, something healthier, something helpful. I give over all of these things that I've learned when I was young or earlier in my life. Give them all to Holy Spirit, trusting that only what is true and truly helpful will come back to me. Everything else will be gently let go of. I'm grateful for this very meditative inward space where I can remember what is helpful and deepen in my desire to be completely allowing. Thank you for this very moment. Thank you for being here. How often are you here and not somewhere else, away in your mind? It's okay to be here, to really be here. So it's good to practice this, to practice simply being present, completely present. You can see that our inner landscape is like a place with different doors. And maybe a lot of the doors have been closed. But now we're ready to open the doors, to feel what had been held back. Maybe instead of saying, I'm on a spiritual path, we can say, I'm practicing not holding something back. I'm realizing that holding parts of myself back leads to unhappiness, leads to stress, leads to tension. What if you took every tension that you experienced straight to Holy Spirit? And you might think, I'll be doing it all day. Give that to Holy Spirit. Oh, more tension. Give that to Holy Spirit. Might seem like a nonstop job for a while, but that's all right. It's a good job. It's a worthy job. And it's a job that leads to real freedom, real happiness. Just saw this satsang from a few months ago where Andre was talking about this tension behind his ears. Okay, let's hand it over. Let's keep handing it over. Even if it's dozens, hundreds of times in a day. Doesn't matter. Let's undo these patterns of stress and tension within us. Oh, what did you get done today? I released a sense of tension like dozens of times. Oh, this sounds like a very, very good day. You got a lot done. I questioned my fear maybe 100 times today. Oh, beautiful. Oh, very productive. Get a gold star. Now, of course, we can do this even as we're engaged in other tasks, but this is our real work. This is our real work. And maybe we notice, oh, the tension seems to come in especially a lot when I'm fill in the blank. Okay, that's really good to see. This certain activity makes you feel tense. What is it about that activity that's making you feel tense? Because the tension is not inherent in the activity. It's not objectively a tension causing activity. And if you find every time you start to sweep, you feel stressed, you hold your shoulders tight. It's not the sweeping that's causing your shoulders to get tight. It's something in your mind, some association that you have. So let's get kind of, I'd like to see what's going on here. Maybe Holy Spirit, I'm going to let you be the lead detective on this. Show me what sweeping means in my mind. And again, fill in the blank, whatever this thing is that you find the tension consistently showing up, that's great. Now you have something really concrete to work with, something really specific. Healing on something specific is very fruitful because it says, there's something in my mind here, and I'd like it to heal. That's my wish. That's what I want. I'd like it to heal rather than just continuing to experience this over and over and over and over again. All right, now we know what we're doing it for. The next time I go sweeping, I'm doing it for healing. I know I often get, stressed when I'm sweeping. So I want to put my mind into being aware of this. I want to use this task for looking at my mind. Maybe there's some judgment. Maybe there's some attack in my mind. Okay, that's good to see. What is this attack in my mind? What's showing up for me to look at? Lovingly, gently, but to look at it, not to obsessively focus on it, to fearfully dissect it, but to lovingly see what it is in my mind. And if you're one of those people who gets into the fearful dissecting, then to catch that too. I don't need to pick this apart with the ego, find every problem I could imagine around this. Maybe that's your stressful task, ego dissecting. And then you want to get light around this. Okay, I see that I started to go down that path again. Holy Spirit, help me release this and move ahead with my day. Or if there's something more for me to see, help me look at it with your eyes rather than with the ego. Because I know if I look at something with the ego, it's going to make me feel bad. That's the ego's thing, making you feel bad. In case you didn't know, that's what the ego does. That is what the ego does. The ego makes you feel bad. There's a reason we're working on releasing the ego, because it's not a good thing. It's not like the ego is sort of a good character that just has some bad habits. No, the ego through and through is here for your misery, for your suffering, for your upset. Just as I say that, there's a rumble of thunder. Holy Spirit likes to have a little playfulness with this topic. But we can catch on to what's going on. We can see, okay, how much should I trust the ego? I should trust the ego not at all. Because its whole desire is unhelpfulness. The ego is a thought system of unhelpfulness that it tries to tell you it will help. The ego is like a snake oil salesman, promising a cure, promising to deliver a remedy, but it's just a bunch of garbage. They'll hook you in. Maybe it's very alluring. The snake oil salesman is very charismatic, very convincing. The ego catches us, but more and more we start to see what's happening. I don't want to fall for that. You've sold beyond that false bill of goods again and again, and it never works. Just because I've trusted you 300 times doesn't mean I need to trust you 301 times. And if we're all honest, it's probably a lot more than that. So when is a good time to catch this pattern, to catch this snake oil salesman we've been trusting? Right now. The next time it shows up for you is a good time. This is not a path to like heal yourself someday in the future. This is not a path to like, I'm gonna get ready to eventually, release fear. Maybe if I think about this, ruminate about it, maybe in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I'll release the fear. No, that's not when the healing happens. The healing never happens in the future. Don't wait. Why wait for heaven? Delay of joy is meaningless. It's needless. You don't have to wait. Choose the open door now. Choose it here. But first, we need to find the door. A lot of these doors in us are sort of buried. They're buried in mud and gunk, covered over with fear and old patterns. So we need to start clearing it. You need to start clearing the way. If you had a door that you wanted to open, but there was like this whole mudslide of rubble in front of it, dirt and rocks and junk, what would you do? Well, you'd go to the rubble and you'd start lifting the stuff out of the way. You'd start clearing it. You'd grab it however you could and throw it to the side. Get out of my way. I'm going to open that door. And this is how we want to be with our own inner healing landscape. What is this junk that's been laying around inside you? What is the junk that you've been protecting, or you've been avoiding, or you've been thinking, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I don't need to focus on this. You can stop fooling yourself. It is very important to deal with this stuff. It's necessary. It's the only way you're ever going to open the door. Maybe I'll open the door in a week or a year. Maybe I'll be healed enough by the time I die. Why do you think these things? Why do we want to wait? What is the point of this? There is no point of this needless delay. A lot of the course you can see like Jesus is like trying to motivate us, trying to tell us, let's clear this junk. And you're kind of, he sees you sitting on the sidelines, scratching your chin. Am I going to do this? Do I have to do this? Do I need to really look at this stuff? Isn't that just the ego to look at this stuff? Maybe I should just put on a smiley face and pretend everything's great. Don't do it. Don't do it. Look at it. We have infinite help. The help of Holy Spirit is infinite. It doesn't end. It doesn't let up. It never abandons us. It never leaves us. With all of this help, why would we not say, let's do it? I'm not going to wait for heaven. Not anymore. Maybe I've been waiting for years and years and years. But you know what? Now is the time. Now is the time. Why? Because now is the only time. You've all been studying the course long enough. You know there is no future. There is no past. Time does not exist. Don't fool yourself into playing the game of someday when. Someday when. Then I can do the work. Then I can look at this. Don't waste your time. Don't suffer. Don't prolong your agony and your misery. You don't have to. You don't have to pretend you're fine when you feel like garbage. Come on. Don't pretend. Don't play this game. It's not a helpful game. Look at what you really feel. Allow it up. If you're angry, don't pretend you're happy. If you're sad, don't pretend you're fine. Don't pretend. Stop the pretending. It doesn't help anyone. You might think it's nicer for other people, but it's not. It's not nice to deal with a smiling mask that's covering over the rage. No. Really, the only person you're probably fooling is yourself. Stop fooling yourself. Look at your anger. Look at your fear. Look at your judgment. Not judging it further, but so that it can come up, so that it can clear. Sometimes the healing is like this rain that's falling outside. It's like the moisture builds and it builds and it builds and it builds. The clouds get thicker and thicker. Well, at some point, what happens? The cloud can't hold the water anymore. It's too much. It's got to come out. It's got to come out. Well, let it out. Let it up. Let it move through. Don't pretend you're a fine spiritual person. That's not nice. It's good. It's good to be real. It's good to be really real. To heal, right? This isn't just like a venting and, you know, emotionally barfing just to like be special. We don't want to be like special as the emotional, person who has emotional issues. That's a certain kind of specialness too. We want to let this up so that it can be undone. We want to let this up so that it can be seen, witnessed, and released. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not pussyfoot around these issues in us. That serves no one. It just prolongs your suffering. Like we were talking about yesterday at our meal, we have to desire it. We have to say yes. We have to grab on to that part in us, that deep part that wants to wake up. That's the only way. We can't sort of half desire it. It's not going to do it. We have to really want it. We have to really, really want it. That that does it. That calls forth the opening. If you have that mud in front of that door, that mudslide, and you really want to open the door, you are going to clear it and clear it and clear it until you can get that door open. That's the desire. The desire finds a way. You don't need to worry about how it's going to work. You might see the problem. Oh my gosh, the door is covered with so much stuff. I don't know how I could ever move all that. You don't need to worry about that, but you just have to know you want it. The how will happen. The how will happen. The how is not your job. Some of you are expert at figuring out the how. Don't be a how figure outer. Focus on the desire. Let the path be shown you. Jesus tells us that our understanding is like insignificant part of this healing. Our understanding of how the healing works is like so small of a part. It's not your job to figure it out. It is your job to figure out what you want. Once you know what you want, pray, pray to deepen your desire. Pray to find the yes that is so strong that nothing will oppose it, because that yes is there. And if you only have a bit of a yes, okay, start with that. But pray for it to get stronger. Help me, Holy Spirit, to deepen my desire to heal this. Help me, Holy Spirit, to clear all my resistance to my yes. Help me to know that I only want happiness. Not that I sort of want happiness. Not that I kind of think it'd be nice to be happy. That's not going to get you anywhere. I only want happiness. That's all I want. Find that place. It's in you. You have to want it. You have to want to find that place. And you can. This is a choice. This is your part in this. And this is an invitation for you to say yes to your part. Now, if you think of a little child kind of learning like how to use a spoon or a fork, and a loving adult will show them. Will show them how to do it and practice holding the fork. But the only one that can hold the fork is them, really. It can be shown, we can be led, can be encouraged, it can be modeled for us. But the only way to hold the fork is to hold a fork. The only way to say yes to your healing is to say yes to your healing. And I feel like this message is coming through because there's like a sick, I don't care kind of feeling. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be called out. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anyone's time with an I don't care. You are not worthy of I don't care. A part that just says, oh well, maybe maybe I can't do it. Maybe it's not for me. Those sorts of thoughts, they don't serve you. Sort of bored way of being in your life, in the world. That's just another sort of twisted way that the ego stays in power. Don't put the ego in charge. If this is a way your mind goes into sort of a bored, hopeless, what can I do? Look at this. Take control. Jesus says you are the master of the universe. This needs to be dealt with directly. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be sort of, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I just, I don't know. That sort of energy is the problem. And maybe you're used to it. Maybe some of you have had this way of being for years and years, maybe almost your whole life. Well, stand up straight. Stand up for what you want. Don't give space to this sort of hopeless, poor me, pity energy. It does not serve. It is not worthy of you. And it doesn't matter if you've been going through this sort of pattern for years, decades, many decades. It doesn't matter. You can choose that you want it to change now. Now is the only time you can make this choice. So don't play small with your path. Don't play small with your life. Don't play small like this. It's not helpful. It's not helping you. It's not helping anyone. So what do we take when we put all this together? Allow what you feel, but don't be a victim to it. Don't pretend that you are somehow unfor the feelings that are coming through you. Let yourself have them, let yourself allow them, but don't elevate them and put them on a pedestal. The only thing we want to lift up is our connection to God. And there's no misery in that. There's no fear there. So it's good. It's good to be determined. It's good to know what you want. And if you don't feel like you're clear, to get clear. Get clear about what you want. This moment is too precious to not be put to use. In fact, it is being put to use one way or another. So what do you want to use it for? What are you using this moment for? That part's up to you. And it's always up to you. Throughout the Course, Jesus calls you the Holy Son of God, the Son of God. It's not just some nice words. This is a reflection of the truth. Let yourself be that. Let yourself realize that that is what you are. Don't need to hang out in sad, twisted fantasies. The truth of what you are is calling. Let yourself hear and say yes to the call. That's what this is all about. That's all this is about. So again, why wait for heaven? If you're one of these people who thinks, yeah, I'll heal that at some point, don't think that. That's not a helpful way to think. Maybe once I do XYZ, on and on and on, I'll get around to that. No. There was a seafood restaurant, a crab restaurant in the US. And on the side of the building, they wrote in big letters, "Free crab tomorrow." I mean, in paint. Free crab tomorrow. Well, you know what? No one ever got their free crab because they came back tomorrow, and you know what was painted on the side of the building? Free crab tomorrow. And so on and so on. Wash, rinse, repeat. They're never going to get it. Don't put your crab in the future. Don't paint that sign on your wall. Stop wasting your time. Go for it. Choose it. And if you notice you painted a sign like that in you, take that sign down. Question it. Give it to Holy Spirit. Say, I'm done with this. I hate leaving my happiness for someday. I hate it. And I don't have to keep doing it. When am I going to know I'm the Son of God? Well, eventually. If you have that kind of thought, clear it out. Stop fighting this call to wake up. You don't have to fight the call. Stop painting a sign, free happiness tomorrow. Don't do it. Free happiness next month, free happiness in a few years. No, because you're just going to get to that point in time and you're going to see the same sign painted there. You have to question the sign. You have to question these thoughts. You have to value yourself more than that. You can. Holy Spirit does. Maybe you should listen to him. So again, we go back to the beginning, to let it all up. Let it all up. Because if you're not letting it up, then you have some sort of wall in you. And you know what's painted on that wall. It's that same message. Happiness tomorrow. It's not something you want to buy into anymore. So again, this is where you can choose to find what you want. If you don't already know, maybe you know right away. I want happiness. Beautiful. But if you don't know, find out. Find out. Ask yourself, what is it that I want? What do I want to believe? What do I really want for myself? What do I want to be my experience? Ask yourself this. And then if it's anything other than perfect happiness, then ask yourself, do you want to want this? Do you want to keep wanting this? You don't have to. And if you don't know how, just take my hand, take Holy Spirit's hand. Grab on to the help that is right there for you, right here, right now. Take the help's hand. It's not some distant thing. It's like right here. Right here. Another question you can ask, how far do I want to go with this healing? How far? Do I want to go to feeling moderately better? Could be a goal. Some of you have. I want to feel moderately better. If I feel miserable a lot of the time, I'd be happy with less misery. But how far do you want to go? I mean, it's great to have less misery, but how far? How far do you want to go with this? How about I want to leave the world completely behind and come to know the love that is all that is true. I want to awaken from the dream of time and space and know your immortal love, God, that is myself as well. Are you in? Do you want to go there too? All right. There we go. We got some people that are in because they want to come to know they're not really people. Yeah. I mean, this is a radical path. This is a path to end all paths. And it's a good one. It's a good one to be on. It's a good one to take steps on. So if you don't feel like you're quite there yet, okay, so be it. Maybe you at least know you want to get there. That's at least something. Work with whatever willingness you have. Pray to deepen the willingness so that it goes further. Be not content with littleness. Be not content with littleness. It's like the message for our joining. Be not content with littleness. Maybe that's all I'm going to read from the Course today. It's just one little sentence pointing us beyond being little. It's the first sentence in the section Littleness versus Magnitude. So if we're not content with littleness, our alternative is magnitude. I mean, it sounds nice. It feels nice. It is nice. It is true. Magnitude. Elsewhere, he talks about grandeur and not the ego's version of being large, grandiosity. We want the grandeur of God. Well, we can just really remember we want to open the doors. Want to open the doors. We want to clear out the stuff in front of the doors so that they can open. It's worth it. We want to open all of the doors. Because every closed door in you, every locked door, in some way represents a fear. And you don't really want that. So when you ask within, you can say, Do I want to open the door? And when you can feel in you a clear yes, the door will open. And if it's not a clear yes, then to get a bit interested in what feels like it's not a yes yet. Why? Because we want to see what keeps us from experiencing happiness. We want to see it. Is there something in you that's untrue that you want to keep believing? And that's helpful to be aware of, but also to know that you'd like to change that. That can be a very simple prayer. I want to let go of anything untrue within me. Maybe some of those things you're aware of, you know what they are, and there's resistance. Maybe there's things you don't even know, but you probably feel them, even if you're not understanding what you're feeling. And it's okay. It's okay to let a feeling up that you don't understand. It's okay to ask for a shift just because you want to feel better. I mean, that's a pretty good motivation. Why do I want to heal? Because I want to feel better. Seems pretty simple. Why do I want to heal? Because I want to stop feeling so bad. Yeah, that's a good reason. We don't have to make this really convoluted. Why do I want to look at that dark and scary place in me? Because it hurts to hold on to it. You know, every now and then I get this image of like if you had an inflatable ball and you were trying to hold it underwater. And I think maybe all of us know this, can viscerally feel what it feels like to try to push like a inflatable ball under the surface of the water. You have to push pretty hard. You have to really focus on holding it down. This is like the things in us that are asking for a shift. We are putting all this energy into holding these balls under the surface, and they just want to come up. They just want to be felt. Think about how much less energy you'll be putting in yourself towards this when you let it come up. When you don't have to be managing it, you know, because it's not just one. It's like, I mean, how many things are going on inside you? I don't know, a handful, a few dozen. Try to hold a few dozen balls under the surface of the water. Just think about how hard that is. It's like impossible. But on some level, you're trying to do it. No wonder there's stress. In the old days, those old variety shows on TV, one of the acts that they would have would be somebody who would be spinning plates, like on a pole or something. You'd have a plate balanced on a pole and they'd be spinning it. It's like, okay, to do that with one, it takes some focus. But then they do it with like 6 or like 9. It was like, see, how many plates can you spin? Keep them spinning without crashing into the ground. Well, how stressful. I thought that was the worst trick ever. It always ended with the plates crashing on the ground. Don't live your life like that. Like that guy trying to spin all these plates, running all around like a crazy person just to keep it all going. Ah, so stressful. You know what's less stressful? Not spinning those plates. Let's just set them somewhere, stack them, and put them on the side. They can just rest in peace. Maybe we can just let what's in us rest. Let it just be peaceful. Or if it doesn't feel peaceful, let's let it be felt. Just think of how many plates that guy must have broken learning this trick. Crazy, crazy thing to do. I mean, that's kind of the way the world functions. How can we manage our stress? How can we do our best at doing all these crazy stressful things to get ahead, to, to make our life work? Oh, what a trap. But we're getting out of the trap. One by one, we're just picking the plates off of these poles and we're setting them down. They don't need to crash on the ground. We can just set them down. You know, that would have been kind of an anticlimactic end to this trick and this show, but he could have ended it that way. He said, "This is too much. I'm gonna put these plates over here. I'm gonna set them on the table." Oh, nothing broke. He might not have been asked onto the show to do more tricks, but he just eliminated all that stress from his life. Right? And this is kind of how it is. There's often an easier way to resolve an issue than we even think. And we buy into the premise, I need to keep the plates going. I need to keep them spinning. Well, if that's your belief, yeah, it's going to be stressful. Why don't we go underneath to see a completely different outcome? I'm going to set the plates down and I'm going to walk off this crazy show. I can just feel myself relaxing as I say that. What is your plate? What are you putting your tension and stress into and trying to keep it up, trying to keep it going? What can you take off that high pole and just set down instead? And if you don't know, just be open. Be open to being shown, being open to seeing something that may be very different than how you've been thinking about it. There may be a very different possibility than what's been showing up in your mind. What is this stressful high wire act energy in you? Let's get off the high wire. You know how people on the high wire train? They train on a stretched wire that's right above the floor. You know, so they can just be trying to balance. They just step off and they're fine. Well, let's step off. Let's step off this balancing act in our being. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like these examples show that being stressed and being in tension, it's like the world thinks it's like good, fun. Well, let's step off of this way of thinking. And when I think of just stepping off of a balancing wire and just onto a stable floor, I just feel this calmness. It's very calm. So again, I think it's really helpful to think what is the spinning plate in you, in your experience? What is the tense, stressful thing that you have kept spinning or trying to spin? Maybe it feels like it keeps crashing on the floor, but then you get another plate, you try to spin that one. It just feels like it's always spinning and crashing. We want to get curious about this because there is another way of looking at this. There is another way of being around this. What is the version of taking the plate off and setting it down in you? What is the version of that in your being? And if you see what it is, are you going to do it? Are you going to shift from that stressful, ongoing, never-ending task to the calm outcome? You can. It's up to you. What is it that you want? That's what it comes down to. What is it that you want? I think that maybe is our closing thought for today. To see how you can go from that stressful, tense place in your mind to the calm resolution, and to see what do you want. Um, I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful day. So I feel that with each and every one of you. Lots of love. See you all again sometime soon.